Hi, welcome to working with decimals and fractions. I'm going to show you a little trick to change a number that's written as a decimal into a fraction. This is 0.31. I like to take the 0 away so I can think of it as just 0.31. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the decimal and I'm going to underline each of these digits. There's 2 digits here. So I'm going to make a fraction bar, and for each digit I underline, I'm going to put a 0 in the denominator, a 1 in front, and then I'm going to write this number on top. So the answer is 31 hundredths. Let me show you another one. Let's say that we had 0.007. Again, I'm going to take this 0 away so we can just focus on the decimal side. How many digits do I have? 3 digits. I'm going to make my fraction bar, and for each digit I'm going to put a 0 on the bottom with a 1 in front, and then I'm going to write the number that I see on the top. And I don't have to put these 2 leading zeros in. This time, let me show you how to turn a fraction into a decimal. I'm going to take this away. We're going to get the same answer. You can kind of use the same little trick. There's 2 zeros in the denominator, so I'm going to make my decimal point, and for each 0 I'm going to make a blank. And then I'm going to take this number and I'm going to back into it, and so that equals 0.31. Let's try another one. Let's say that I had 7/10 and I wanted to write this as a decimal. Well, there's 1 0 in the denominator, so I'm going to make my decimal point, and for that 1 0 that means I'm going to have 1 digit, 1 blank, and I'm just going to write that in. So 7/10 equals 0.7. Let's try another one. Say that we had 49 hundredths and we wanted to write it as a decimal. I'm going to make my decimal point. I've got 2 zeros in the bottom, so 2 blanks. I'm going to back into my number, and it equals 0.49. Let's try another one. Say that we had 43 thousandths. I've got 3 zeros in the denominator, so that means I'm going to have 3 blanks, 1 for each 0, and I'm going to start at the far right and I'm going to go backwards into my number, and then I have an empty spot right there. That's real easy. We're just going to fill that in with a 0. One more. Let's say that we want to write 9 thousandths as a decimal. Can we make our decimal point? There's 3 zeros, 3 blanks. I'm going to start on the far right with my number. I have 2 empty spots. I'm going to fill in with zeros, and it equals 0.009. Let's look at one more. Let's say that I have this mixed number. Actually, it's a decimal number, and I'm going to turn it into a mixed number. I'm going to just look at my decimal side. I have 0.7, so I have 1 digit on the right side of the decimal, so that means I'm going to have 1 0 in the denominator for that digit. Put a 1 in front. I'm going to write my 7 there, and then the 4 is going to remain in front of it. So you turn this decimal number into a mixed number. Let's do one more of those. Say that we had 11.6 and I wanted to write this one as a fraction. I'm going to focus in on my decimal number, which is on the right. There's 1 digit, so that means I'm going to have 1 0 in the denominator, put a 1 in front. So this part is equivalent to 6/10, and then I would drop my 11 down. Now if we wanted to take this just one step further, If you looked at the fraction, you want to ask yourself the is question. Is your fraction improper? No. Is it simplified? No, it's not. These are both divisible by 2, and that equals 3/5. So the final answer, if you had to simplify your fraction, would be 11 3/5. So it's pretty easy. Sometimes people overthink this a little bit and it makes it harder, but it's pretty fun to work with. Thanks a lot for visiting my video. Check out my others online.